Hey, hope everyone's doing well. So got another one here for you. It's called Stuck. I wrote this about 7 months ago, and the B-roll is at the end of this introduction. I feel that many of us are stuck in life. We're either in a dead end job or a dead end marriage, and we just feel like there's nowhere else to go. And the way I see it is that they want us to be stuck. And they know that as long as we're stuck, the machine will continue to run. The machine is healthy because we have nowhere to go. Many of us keep repeating the past, and we have a lot of the same thoughts repeating in our minds. It's very hard to get to the next step, when you're constantly dwelling on what has happened, when you should be focused on what's here and now. It's very important. And yeah, I have many people in my life, they sound like a broken record. We want to change, but so suppressed by our own reality, we can't seem to evolve. And for the most part, it's because we have huge demands to meet all day long and don't have the opportunity to get outside of our own bubble. It's crazy because the older I get, the more cynical I become about corporations, people, society, just about everything. I see things so differently now, like how manipulative and repulsive most commercials are, and how every brand thinks they are number one in the world. It's all fake news. Mostly everything is. And after chasing the Joneses, I now realize that it's such a superficial way to live. Do you try to keep up because you are competitive or care so much about how others perceive you? Wouldn't it be better to just dive into your own zone, be alone, and not have to deal with keeping up with anybody? So I read a #1 bestseller called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. It really woke me up. He talks about how we are our own worst critic, and in reality, people just don't give a fuck. And the reality is that we only have a few fucks you really should care about and forget about everything else. For me, it's my young daughter and my job. I can care less about what people say about me anymore. I laugh at good and bad comments. And, most of us are struggling. And once you accept that life is tough, you realize that everyone is pretty much on their own. But once you accept it, it does help just a little. So slap your own back for your merit because no one else really cares. I put a lot into this B-roll. It was fun to make, and I'll see you on the next. Most people get stuck in an endless repetitive thought. God-fearing or not, just get out of your shell, you fuck. You're repeating the past and waiting to blast off, but you can't take off because you are a broken record. Mumbling to yourself and pissing in a cup, trying to break out from a world so corrupt. Yeah, maybe I am a bit weird and should just disappear, but I am a fighter, lighting a lighter in a dark bottleneck that keeps getting tighter. You can't put me in check as you peck and say what the heck, because my shit is real. I am suffering like most of you feel. The problem is, it's your mentality you acquired, learned, and concealed. You might as well try to train a dog to stop chasing the ball, stop sitting, and stop coming to the call. Until you break out with new thought, you're stuck. You're a sitting duck. Pluck, pluck. If you succumb, you'll keep surviving off crumbs. Break out of your shell and dive into the unknown. Turn off your phone, be alone, and stop acting like a clone. Stop keeping up with the drama and Joneses. Here's a pop quiz. Do you really know who you are, or act how you think people perceive you? Are your thoughts scattered and reactive? When someone says something, do you take it as an absolute, or think of a different point of view? Or are you intelligently focused in a tunnel vision zone, thinking on your own? I highly recommend the book by Mark Manson, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, because no one really gives a fuck. Everyone, even my 8-year-old daughter, is manipulative and selfish. We are all fighting in the trenches. Find your spirit, find your peace. Slap your own back for your merit because no one else really cares.